What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I have all these short video ideas all the time. I mean, they pop in my head. Literally, I'll probably think of 4 on the way home here, but I have these ideas, but it's hard for me to find the time to sit down and record these videos. So I thought to myself, I said, hey, I waste about 30 minutes a day driving home. I usually listen to a podcast or something like that, but today we're going to try to record this video. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we're going to give it a try. So I've been thinking a lot here lately about the new push for electric vehicles and what that's going to do to the service industry as far as maintaining and doing service work on these vehicles. What it's going to mean for us mechanics. If you're a mechanic watching this video, what is going to change about our day-to-day job. And honestly, overall, I think that the electric vehicles are going to have a bad impact on a mechanic's job. So a little bit of background about myself. I am a full-time automotive mechanic. I work for a Ford dealership. I'm a senior master tech with Ford. I've been doing this about 8 years. I've been doing it since I was 17 years old. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is something I've been thinking about a lot here lately, and it has to do with the way that everything is pushing into electric vehicles. Everybody wants electric vehicles, electric vehicles, electric vehicles. That's all I ever hear anything about is electric vehicles. And my question about electric vehicles is, what does that do to my job? What does that do to the industry that I'm in as a whole? Because right now, we're servicing these internal combustion engines that really do, they tear up a lot. And I'm not blaming that on any manufacturer or anybody that, they did this, they did that. I mean, we've been doing internal combustion engines for 100 years now. They've always tore up. They're always going to tear up. So that's what keeps me busy. That's what keeps a paycheck coming into me every week. Go to talk about electric vehicles, it really kind of scares me a little bit because I don't really know what the industry is going to look like in 15, 20 years. I don't know what we're going to be doing. I don't know if we're going to be... I really just don't know. And I know the electric vehicles are already here, but most places aren't really doing a lot of work to electric vehicles. There's just not that many of them yet in order for us to have a daily supply of electric vehicles that are needing to be worked on. So my question is with electric vehicles, what is there actually to repair? When we talk about a regular gas or diesel engine vehicle, we're most of the time either repairing engines, we're overhauling transmissions, we're overhauling differentials, or we're diagnosing some electrical problems, stuff like that. Whereas an electric vehicle, we don't really have any of those components to repair. They don't need maintenance work. Electric vehicles don't need maintenance work. On an internal combustion engine, you need to change the oil, you need to change the coolant, you need to change all these different fluids. You got brakes that are going to wear out, you have transmission fluid that you have to change, you have all this maintenance stuff, maintenance that you're supposed to do. In an electric vehicle, you just don't have it. So when you break down an electric vehicle and you really start thinking about the components that are going to require service and they're going to require work to be done on them in the future, the main things that come to mind to me to think about is first off the electric motor, and then the battery pack. So with the electric motor, and we've been making electric motors for hundreds of years now, and by this point we pretty much figured out how to build them. I mean, something as simple as you think about your blower motor in your house, what keeps air circulating in your house for your AC system. Like my house, I mean, that blower motor's probably been in there 20 years and it's still humming just like it did the first day it was put in. We know how to build these. They're not tearing up. And it's the same thing in these electric cars. Like they're lasting forever. They just don't tear up. So the second thing being the battery pack is something that, is going to require service. Any battery is never going to last forever. I don't care what you do. It's going to eventually deteriorate to a point where it needs to either be repaired or replaced. But I will say, like I read something the other day that Tesla is actually warranty their high voltage batteries for like 10 years. And I can say from experience from working for Ford that if a company is warrantying something for 10 years, they fully expect that thing to last twice as long. So if Tesla's warrantying it at 10 years, they expect that thing to last at least 20 years. That's their cushion for allowing themselves enough time that they hopefully don't have to pay to replace this battery pack. Another thing on electric vehicles, you know, brakes. Like, that's something, like, brakes last like 200,000 miles on these electric vehicles because of something called regenerative braking. I'm not going to go super into depth on that. You know, if it's something you're interested in, look that up. I'm sure there's hundreds of videos on YouTube about what regenerative braking, I don't know why that word's so hard for me to say. There's probably hundreds of videos about how that works and all that, but I guess overall what really scares me about the automotive industry, and when I say I don't mean sales, I mean like the mechanic industry, the automotive service industry, what really scares me the most is, what does my industry look like as a whole in 15 or 20 years? Like, what am I going to be doing? What's going to be making me money in 15 or 20 years? Because right now, the things that make me money are repairing internal combustion engines. You know, we do a lot of service work on engines. I know you watched some other videos. We do a lot of variable cam timing work. We overhaul a lot of transmissions. That's something that makes me money. Overhauling differentials, we do a good bit of that. Front end work. And these are just things on electric vehicles that just, like, they're non-existent. Like, you don't need to repair the internal combustion engine because there's not one there. There's nothing there, you know. And I guess that really kind of scares me a little bit, because I'm only 24 years old, and if I stay in the automotive repair industry, if I stay in this, I don't know what my job is going to be in 15 years. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be doing in 15 years. And I think it's really overall a bad thing for mechanics. I like internal combustion engines. I think they're really, really good for us, because, you know, there's so much maintenance and repair work that has to be done on them that keeps us busy. It keeps us, you know, it keeps a paycheck coming in every week. It really does. So one thing I will say that I realize about electric vehicles is that I know that it requires mechanics that work on electric vehicles to have a higher skill level, because of how much more advanced the electronic and electrical systems are on these cars. Now, I know that whenever you talk about a higher skill level, you talk about, you know, it's going to cost more money. If there's more training and education involved in becoming something, then the cost of the labor of that person is going to be higher. I guess my question is the extra cost in labor for having to repair electric vehicles going to offset the amount, the much drastically less amount of work that we're going to have as mechanics, because these electric vehicles just don't tear up? And not only that, but am I going to ever even see that increase in wage because of the higher, you know, skill level that it takes to work on these cars? Like, am I going to get a raise because I'm having to work on more advanced stuff? I think it'll eventually happen, but I think it'll take a very, very long time to happen. Okay, guys, so I pretty much rambled on for this entire ride home. This is probably like my third take of this video. I don't know how it's going to turn out because I haven't edited it yet. I hope it turns out good and you see it on YouTube. Anyways, this is my first attempt at somewhat of a vlog video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'd really, really love to hear, especially some of you guys that are in this industry, you know, that doing the same thing that I do. Maybe it's not for Ford, but, you know, you're working in the automotive repair industry. I would love to hear some of you guys' opinions on what y'all think about electric vehicles, and what y'all think about what they're going to do to our job, what's going to change with us. I'm sure you folks that are watching this that are not in the automotive repair industry, that are just you know, a basic consumer, you love the idea of electric vehicles, or you love the idea that I'm saying that they don't tear up, because that means you're not going to have any repair costs. But that will get offset. That will get offset by the cost of the vehicle. If it tears up less, I promise you it's going to cost more money. Anyways, I'm going to shut up now. I just pulled up at my house, so appreciate y'all watching, and let me know down in the comments what you thought of this video. I might do some more of them. Who knows? We'll see. But anyways, peace out, guys. We'll see y'all in the next one.